Hello, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Sorry, I was waiting for my brain to catch up there. Anyways, we're here live from the couch in the front room, and we're going to be pulling the video from here today. So this is the video I do every Monday called Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. The album I have chosen for today is currently in my playlist, Jethro Tull's Catfish Rising. Yes, absolute killer. Another really good album by them. This one, of the ones I've been listening to lately, which are all pretty much in the 1990s, I think I like this one the best. Certainly like it anyways. It's really good. I think there's at least 13, maybe there's 13 tracks here. I think there's 13. Anyways, I'll give you the vitals on it first. So we'll put that down, get to the vitals. So, released on September 2nd, 1991. So, almost 30 years. No, not quite. It was 20 years after they... a little over 22 years since their first album when they put this out. It's on the Chrysalis label. It's about 60 minutes in length, so fairly lengthy album, outside of what I normally like, which is between 35 and 45, so it's kind of actually very top heavy. But it's not bad. I'm okay with that. And it's, of course, produced by Jethro Tull. Appearing on the album, Ian Anderson on vocals, acoustic guitar, electric and acoustic mandolin, flute, keyboards, drums, and percussion, so doing just about everything. Martin Barr, of course, playing the electric guitar, most of the solos, I would assume. Dave Pegg on electric and acoustic bass, so that's a little bit different than normal. And Don Perry on drums and percussion. Additional personnel on the album, we've got Andrew Giddings playing keyboards on tracks 1 and 4 and 8. Foss Patterson on keyboards on track 10. And John Bundrick John Bundrick on keyboards on track number 11. We have Matt Pegg on bass on tracks 1, 4, and 7. Scott Hunter on drums and percussion on track 5. So a few additional instruments added for different tracks, but so we got a few people there. So there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like I said, 13 tracks in total. Most of them I gave at least a 7 to. So I would say about 7 or 8 of the tracks were 7 or above, and then the others were between a 6 and a 7. So it starts out with This Is Not Love. So this was the first kind of song I liked early on. It's a little faded a little bit now. Kind of a heavy but not a metal sound to it. Keyboards are more prominent on this track. You got some excellent flute, as you do throughout the entire album. Vocals are solid and don't appear to be as damaged as some of the other albums as he goes along. There's a nice catchy riff and a nice catchy solo on this particular track. Occasional Demons is next. Catchy riff, a lot of solo picking going on here. Vocals are husky, but not too hazy sounding, I guess is a good way of putting it. Or I should say nasal sounding, not hazy, nasal. And some flute is pretty good on this as well. Next track up is Rollin' Your Own. Very vocal. The vocals are very bluesy on this particular track. The acoustic guitar dominates, and the overall feeling, it's a melodic bluesy track. Next up is Rocks on the Road. Another bluesy, but a little bit more clear than the previous track. So a little bit, production's a little easier. You can hear pretty good on this one. Acoustic guitar, nice picking part to it. Drums and guitar keep getting have a nice catchy beat to it. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty catchy track. Rocks on the Road. Next up is Sparrows on the Schoolyard Wall. So this is one of the first of the songs that I gave a 7 to. So it looks like I actually split them in half. I think about half of the songs are 7s, the other half are 6 or better. So we've got Sparrow on the Schoolyard Wall, some nice flute, some nice acoustic guitar, and some nice synthesizer to open. So they kind of blend them together to give you a kind of a atmosphere to the song. The acoustic picking and the bass are heavier on this particular track. He's got a little bit of a whining sound to his voice on this track, but it's not bad. Sorry. Long day today. Anyways, yeah, catchy riff, nice, good electric guitar solo on this particular track. Thinking Round Corners, kind of a weird thing, but I kind of like it. It's probably one of my 2 favorites on the album. Vocals are a little bit on the nasally side, but that's generally the way I like his stuff. This is more of a folky track, hence the reason probably why I like it a little more. It's got a nice, catchy acoustic guitar part with a nice solo, which is really strong. Lyrics are a bit quirky, a little funny. I like them. And it's got a little bit of a folky sound to it, as well as a hint of that folky flavor that he likes to throw in throughout most of the music. And the flute and the guitar bits are really good on this too. Next up is Still Loving You Tonight. This is a little bit of a drop. Most of the last half of the songs are all 7s or better. This one's a little bit of a drop. I don't like it as much as some of the other stuff. It's got a slow slide guitar, kind of a bluesy guitar feel. The vocals clear with some normal folky sounds to them. Yeah, I would say the solo gives that really kind of bluesy flavor to it. Next up is Doctor to My Disease. Excuse me. This is the other song that is probably my favorite on the album. This is a heavier track. Both guitar and bass are more dominant here. Vocals are typical of him when he sings those metal sounds to it. A nice catchy riff, faster pace, a more normal Tull sound to me. I think this is more of a heavier Tull sound, which is what I like. Like a Tall Thin Girl, this is the next track up. This is one of the shorter tracks on the albums. Some nice acoustic and folky opening. Acoustic mandolin and folky opening. Yeah, one of the songs. I like the start to this quite a bit. And then some really heavy guitar here. Vocals are strong. The flute is dominant. This is a good track too. I gave this a 7 as well. White Innocence is the next track. It's more of a slow, picky, folky song. The vocals are very folky. There's a bit of a heavy, catchy beat at points during the song as well. Another good song. Gave that a 7 as well. Sleeping with the Dog. This one was one of the other weaker ones at the back half. The bass opening is very bluesy, and the flute as well is kind of bluesy there. This is a heavy bluesy part. Maybe the reason why I don't like it as much. I like more folky stuff and heavier stuff in Jethro Tull than the bluesy stuff, although they do all of them very well. Gold Tip Boots and Black Jacket and Tie. This is more of an up-tempo song, almost a rockabilly part flavor to it at times, and very dominant flute throughout this track. The vocals are a little bit more forward than maybe most of the other songs, and it's got, of course, a little bit of a heavy, folky flavor to it. And the last track, which ends the album, is one of the other ones I like quite a bit. This one I gave a 7. When Jesus Comes to Play. I like the catchy riff. I like the acoustic dominated parts throughout this song. The vocals are strong, and the story is maybe the best of the stories on the album. Yeah, so pretty solid album overall, I would say. I don't know if it's one of my top 10 Tull albums. I guess when it comes time to rate them, I'll know by then. I do like this cover quite a bit as well. It's quite good. It's got the cover itself is black on both front and back, but these symbols on them are got this kind of a gold and blue flavor to it on the name and on the catfish there, as well as on the back here. There's that, I think it's a type of musical harp or combination of things. Anyways, it's got that same kind of golden bluesy flavor to it. The whole album is pretty good. So 13 tracks in total. It does have a couple of extra tracks on it that weren't probably on the original one. There's 3 actually. Gold Tip Boots, which is pretty good. Black Jacket and Tie, another. Actually, that's one that's. Okay, I see what happens. So they. Oh no, they didn't. They don't give you the bonuses on this one, so this must be the original. I thought this was a bonus one. I apologize. It's not the remastered one. It's the original one. I thought some of the songs that were mentioned when I was looking it up aren't on here there because they're only on the remastered edition. Anyways, a strong album. I think it's a good, solid, Tull album. For the 90s so far, I think I like it the best of the 90s album. It came out a couple of albums after Crest of the Knave, which was kind of my introduction to that sound that was going forward from Crest of Knave, probably right through to A. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell, and we will... And if you want to leave any comments, of course, you can, about Jethro Tull, about Catfish Rising, or anything I've said. You can put those in the comment section below. And we will be back tomorrow morning for another episode of the series we're running. And hopefully I'll be back on my desk by then as well. So hopefully a little bit of a change tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you again next Monday night for another look back at a classic rock album. Take care and goodbye.